Today is the day of the NBA All-Star Game, and Raptors fans are excited to watch Fred VanVleet in action. But we don't get to watch Pascal Siakam despite an outrageously good season. So in today's video, we try to figure out, how did that happen? Let's get into it. Welcome NBA and Raptors fans to Amateur Hour Sports, your source for dedicated Toronto Raptors content on YouTube at least 4 times a week. So if you like what you see from today's video, then make sure you're subscribed to the channel for all that great content coming your way. You can help me on my road to 9,000 subscribers and stay up to date with all the great content coming your way. And if you want even more, you can always check out our Twitch streams and the Discord with the links in the description. But let's get down to today's video. I kept saying I wanted to make this video. We are finally doing it. I'm finally going to talk about Pascal Siakam not getting into the All-Star game, and it's probably good that I waited a little bit because I was legitimately furious. I mean, when he didn't make the initial All-Star team, I wasn't that upset. I completely understood. The Raptors, they got their All-Star in Fred VanVleet. It would have been difficult to get to, but it still would have been possible. But ultimately, I looked at everybody on the All-Star team and I went, okay, you know what? Fair enough, those guys can be in the All-Star team. But then we got to the first injury replacements. We thought, okay, that's Siakam's spot. I think that's the spot that he deserves, but LaMelo Ball is going to be a good case to get in there. The Raptors, again, already had their All-Star. Adam Silver, who is the only person in charge of making that decision for the injury replacements. He decides to go with LaMelo Ball, maybe a bit more box office, maybe for the ratings, get a Charlotte player involved. Okay, again, even though Charlotte are 1-9 in the last 10 games, okay, I can understand LaMelo Ball's putting up a great season. Not as good as Siakam, however, I can understand why he chose LaMelo Ball over Pascal Siakam. I don't agree, but okay. Then we get to the second injury replacement. James Harden is out, and I'm like, okay, no more goofing around. That is Pascal Siakam's spot. I can't even conceive any other player who would warrant that spot over Pascal Siakam in the All-Star game. Then people on Twitter, all over social media were talking about it's between Siakam and Jarrett Allen. I'm looking at like, there's just no way Jarrett Allen is going to make it above Siakam. And the absolute gut-wrenching feeling I felt when it was Shams or Woj who said Jarrett Allen has been selected for the All-Star placement. I legitimately could not believe what I was seeing. I could not believe Jarrett Allen actually made it over Pascal Siakam. Now, I'm going to talk a lot of smack about Jarrett Allen. I completely respect Jarrett Allen, a player. I really like Jarrett Allen as a player. As far as being better than Pascal Siakam, being an All-Star this season, it doesn't really make any sense to me. Let's go into a little bit of the statistics here. Siakam, who was injured a little bit to start the season, obviously missed a bunch of games. He came back. He wasn't quite 100% yet, and his stats reflected that. They weren't up to this outrageous level, but they were still pretty good. Even so, he has been so good recently that his early stretch of games where he was only putting up like 18 points per game on 45% shooting aren't even reflected in his season averages, because he's averaging like 22 points per game, almost 50% shooting from the field, over 35% shooting from three, by far a career high in rebounding with over 8 rebounds per game, by far a career high in assists with over 5 assists per game. He is doing everything for the Raptors. He's having such a huge impact on what the Toronto Raptors are doing, and the Raptors are doing really well and were one of the hottest teams in the NBA at the time of selection. Cleveland, they have the better record. They've been more consistent throughout the season, no doubt, but Jarrett Allen has not been the catalyst in why they are doing so well. Siakam recently has been that reason. As good as Fred VanVleet was, Siakam, I would say, has been even better in this recent stretch, and as a result, I thought he was a shoo-in for that position. Jarrett Allen is doing some great stuff as well. Don't get me wrong. That's 16 points per game plus, over 11 rebounds on above 65% shooting from the field. These are all great stats. Jarrett Allen is putting on a great season, and I completely understand that. But as to the impact of the players, Siakam impacts the game way more than Jarrett Allen. I think a key statistic to look at in this scenario is the unassisted makes, because Siakam is putting up at 6 more points per game than Jarrett Allen, and almost 60% of those makes are unassisted. A lot of the time, Siakam's got to do it himself, and he's doing it himself on all 3 levels, especially getting into the paint, especially from mid-range, where he was shooting very well in that spot. When he has to space the floor from 3, he is doing a lot better right now. Again, over 35% from three. I've always said the difference between Siakam being like just a star and then at the all-star, all-NBA level is that 35% three-point percentage. Not only does that give him that extra little bit of points from the outside, it makes it so much harder to defend him in every other position because he has the threat of that three-point game. You got to go play a little bit closer to him on the perimeter. That's a lot more space for Pascal Siakam to beat you on the inside. So Siakam, almost 60% of those unassisted. Jarrett Allen averaging 16 points per game. Under 30% of those are unassisted. So again, I love Jarrett Allen. I think he's a great player, but like we're talking about a lot of lobs. We're talking about a lot of layups. We're talking about a lot of dunks. The difficulty in what Pascal Siakam is doing far exceeds what Jarrett Allen is doing offensively. And beyond that, Siakam is playing much better than Jarrett Allen offensively. Now, what can you bring defensively? Siakam is an outstanding defender, has been an outstanding defender, and I don't think he's going to make an all-defense team, but I certainly think there's going to be some conversations that include his name. Jarrett Allen included. Jarrett Allen is an absolute beast on defense. I cannot deny that. But, having Jarrett Allen there with the help of Evan Mobley, like two bigs on the inside, Jarrett Allen, the difficulty of his matchups usually aren't insane, where Siakam a lot of the time has to defend some really good perimeter players on the other team. But, if I have to go one or the other on defense, I kind of have to give it to Jarrett Allen for what he possesses defensively, even though the versatility of Pascal Siakam offers you a lot more. Now, Cleveland fans are going to be upset about this because they think that Jarrett Allen deserves it over Pascal Siakam. And obviously, they are going to say that. I mean, I don't blame you completely. Jarrett Allen has been great this season. I cannot deny that. Jarrett Allen has been great. It's just not been as great as Pascal Siakam. So, sure, there's an argument to be made, but let's take a look at this scenario here. So let's put Pascal Siakam in Jarrett Allen's place on the Cleveland Cavaliers. He'd be playing as the 4. You have Evan Mobley as the 5. Do the Cleveland Cavaliers get better by making that swap? Yes. Absolutely, they do. They're doing great. They would be doing even better. They had Pascal Siakam giving them 22 points per game, helping Darius Garland with a lot of the scoring load, giving you a lot more of that isolation scoring. Absolutely, Cleveland get better if you make that. So let's put Jarrett Allen on the Raptors instead of Pascal Siakam. The Raptors, who do not have a true center, who are in desperate need of a true center. Getting that true center in place of Pascal Siakam, does that make the Raptors better? Would they be doing better with that? No, they wouldn't be. Jarrett Allen, as much as he would bring you on defense, as much as he could offer you on offense, Siakam is single-handedly winning a lot of games for the Raptors. I say single-handedly lightly, as in there's a lot of guys helping him out, but Siakam is the key factor in a lot of these wins. Like he's running point guard in a lot of occasions, the key ball handler, the key scorer. Like it seems like he is doing everything for the Raptors. There was that huge stretch of 8 straight wins where Siakam was just unbelievably good. Obviously, other players like Gary Trent were chipping in a ton, but Siakam, the star of that team, no doubt. And even if you give them Jarrett Allen instead of Siakam, I don't think they are doing as well. So based on that argument, I don't think you have a case if you suggest that the Cleveland Cavaliers are doing better than they would be if they had Siakam instead of Jarrett Allen. If you want to say for the Raptors, Jarrett Allen instead of Siakam, maybe they get better, I completely disagree, but at least I can see some sort of case there. But overall, Siakam is the better player. And Siakam has been playing better over the course of this season than Jarrett Allen. The only reason I think that Jarrett Allen is going to feature in the All-Star game is, number one, the Cleveland Cavaliers record, whatever. They have a better record. Adam Silver is prioritizing that, sure. And, maybe there's a little bit of an American team bias. We don't know. Then the second thing is that the game is in Cleveland. Jarrett Allen plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Help out the home crowd that's going to be there. You get another one of their players and the record. That's really it. But for people saying the Raptors, they're the 7th seed, they're 32-25, they don't deserve 2 All-Stars. You don't get 2 All-Stars for doing that. Well, last season, the Boston Celtics at the All-Star break had a worse record, like decent amount worse than the Raptors at this stage of the season. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum were All-Stars. So that argument isn't really valid because you can get 2 All-Stars for being in this position. And I'm not saying that Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum didn't deserve to be in the All-Star team last season. I'm not saying that at all. But that argument should stand this season, that the Raptors should have 2 All-Stars, especially with those injury replacements. Again, the LaMelo one, whatever, I can live with that. The main team, I didn't expect Pascal Siakam to really be in that anyway. I thought he had an outside chance. I'm just kind of happy we got Fred VanVleet in there. But the second injury replacement spot, that absolutely had to be Pascal Siakam's position. I honestly am shocked. I honestly am absolutely shocked. I shouldn't be, because it's Adam Silver making decisions, and that typically doesn't really favor the Raptors in any way whatsoever. But it's a real damn shame, because Siakam is putting on an outrageous season. But honestly, the way he's playing like a top 15 player in the league. He's making the case to be in an all-NBA team. And as much as I would love for him to be the all-star team, all-NBA would be a lot cooler. But would I really like that all-star game? And I really can't understand why Jarrett Allen's in there. Well, I can't. He plays for Cleveland. They have a better record. That's it. It's not because Jarrett Allen's more talented than Pascal Siakam. It's because of the outside factors. So Pascal Siakam, who deserves it? Feel really bad for him, but at least you get to watch Fred VanVleet in the All-Star game. I'm excited to do that tonight. So what did you make of these All-Star decisions? Do you think Siakam should have been there instead of Jarrett Allen? Do you think the other way around? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below, because that is it for me for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, make sure to give a like. If you're still here watching at the end, that absolutely deserves a like, and make sure you're subscribed to Amateur Hour Sports for more content just like this at least 4 times a week. We do so much Raptors content. We'll keep you entertained during the All-Star break, keep you up to date with everything Raptors. We'll see you again next time for another video.